Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Coming up, Dominica mourns the loss of former President His Excellency Nicholas Liverpool, the Honorable Prime Minister to address concerns of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, and 19 recognized at the National Youth Awards. Details of our headline stories and more after this.
You're watching GIS.
Thanks for staying with us. The Commonwealth of Dominica has lost its sixth president. On Monday, Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit told the nation on state-owned DBS radio of the death of the former president, Nicholas J.O. Liverpool. On Tuesday, the Honorable Prime Minister shared with GIS News some of his sentiments on the passing of his friend and mentor.
While he achieved a number of outstanding accolades, he always remained a very humble person. He was a great gentleman who was always prepared to provide advice to those who solicit the advice from him. We pray for for his wife and family. We pray that the good Lord will give her courage and strength to deal with the loss of her husband and, of course, their father.
The late president served Dominica and the region with distinction as a lawyer, law lecturer, diplomat, judge, and president of his country. His Excellency Liverpool served as president from October 2003 to September of 2012. He was 80 years old. The country will be in mourning until the day after his burial. The Grand Bay constituency has lost one of their most outstanding citizens. Former President Nicholas J.O. Liverpool, who died on Monday, was born in Grand Bay. Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Justina Charles, says he will greatly be missed by all.
For us, that is, he was born in Grand Bay, and for us, he's one of us. We know that he wasn't well, but at the same time, we knew he was doing very well, recuperating nicely after his interventions. And so to have heard of his death last night, it has really saddened the Grand Bay constituency. We definitely will miss him because he has impacted positively on the constituency. He worked in the church in Grand Bay, he worked with the village council, he worked with community groups, he worked with the cadet corps, you know, just name it. He was a people's person. He did the best that he could. He interacted with people. He was easy to talk to, people-centered, and so definitely we will miss him. And we know he made contributions in many other areas, in law, in education, you know, quite a bit of areas that he definitely contributed to the development of Dominica. So to have lost a man of that caliber, to lost somebody who still had the energy to continue to work with people, to help to transform and to assist people, we definitely see that as a very good big void for us.
Dr. Liverpool was bestowed the Dominica Award of Honor in 2003, and the road from Poncasay leading to the Douglas Charles Airport was renamed the Dr. Nicholas Liverpool Highway in November of 2014. The Honorable Minister for Public Works, A.N. Pinad, told the House of Parliament and the nation last Wednesday that the sea defense wall to the east of the Douglas Charles Airport runway remains an agenda item for his ministry. As a matter of fact, Honorable Pinad says the estimates have been submitted and designs are being finalized at this time. According to the Honorable Minister, the wall, which cost $30 million to be erected, will cost $26 million to upgrade. The Ministry of Public Works is also consulting with marine construction professionals for a safe and sustainable project.
The work will comprise a combination of concrete, tetrapods, and natural rock to increase the level of revetment and wave energy dissipation. However, a 100 meters section of the affected area has been identified for works at a cost of $5 million. Further section of the road with pond and water have been identified for necessary road rehabilitation. The proposed works are meant to eliminate such ponding of water and to increase the flow of water to the drains. The proposed works has been deemed necessary and will form part of the portfolio of projects of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports. The execution of the project is expected to be between 10 to 12 months.
The minister added that in bad weather, sea swells also affect roads and traffic in Canefield, Dubic, Scotshead, and Soufriere. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, ICA, held its annual National Accountability Seminar on Monday. Several key stakeholders were in attendance, including the Ministry of Agriculture, the Dominica Bureau of Standards, the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CADI, and the Dominica National Council of Women.
The purpose of this report is to show transparency and accountability to our major stakeholders in the agricultural sector and provide an overview of the main achievements of 2014. As a specialized agency in agriculture and rural development, we are aware of the challenges faced by the agricultural sector at the national and sub-regional levels. However, in this environment, there remains important roles for agriculture to play in the economic stabilization and development processes, which motivates a strategic positioning of the sector to effectively perform in this capacity.
Through ICA's support, Dominica was represented at several regional and international meetings important to the achievement of agriculture locally. ICA has been instrumental in providing technical support and facilitating the acquisition of financial support to several groups, including rural women and the youth in Dominica. Several of the organizations receiving support highlighted some of the achievements of ICA in 2014.
In the area of training and capacity building, again, ICA has come forth and has been a major facilitator in ensuring that a lot of our technicians have received training short-term and into the medium term to ensure that we have the capacity at the ministry and the division to better deliver on our work.
With ICA, we have been working in the area of Codex. Codex Alimentarius is the body that is responsible for developing standards as it pertains to food safety standards. ICA over the years have been very supportive, and ICA has helped and facilitated, Dominica's participation at those forums.
ICA has continued in its support in implementing livelihood projects for rural women producers. The agricultural women's movement of the North-Northeast, Girodel, Belleville-Chopin, Mont Prosper have all benefited from ICA's project last year, 2014. Dominica National Council of Women worked as a coordinating mechanism, a networking partner with ICA on the gender equality, food security, and sustainable development project. This was one of 4 funding projects by UN Women in the Caribbean. I am pleased to stand there today and to say that Dominica came second in that project with the help of Mr. Ken Coppell.
The Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Johnson Drago, says institutes like ICA give hope. He outlined the ministry's expectations from the institute over the next year.
Through ICA's support, we are looking forward to the following. 1, improving our institutional capacity to enhance our agricultural health and food safety system, developing value chains to further enhance our agro-food systems. This will be accomplished by bettering our technical, managerial, and infrastructural capabilities. This development will also pay close attention to areas such as niche markets for organic outputs and agro-tourism initiatives. Improve the knowledge management for climate change adaptation and sustainable use of natural resources.
ICA's technical specialist Kent Coppell presented the 2014 report to the Minister of Agriculture and pledged the Institute continued support for the next year and beyond. Following the official presentation, key stakeholders and ICA discussed plans for 2015. 2014 marked the end of ICA's 2011 to 2014 midterm or country strategy. This four-year plan, based on national demands, sought to enhance competitiveness and agribusiness through improved quality and food systems along the value chain. At Monday's forum, ICA presented its next midterm plan, 2014 to 2018. Over the next 4 years, the Institute will build on the results of the previous midterm plans and focus on the enhancement of the competitiveness and agribusiness and the improvement of livelihood of rural territories through building resilience in production systems and improved quality and food safety systems. You're watching National Focus. Still to come, the National Youth Council celebrates Dominica's youth. Stay with us.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely, and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Welcome back. The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is looking to address areas of concern for the staff of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. The Prime Minister, along with the Health Minister and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, met with the management and staff of the corporation on Monday. The aim of that meeting was to hear their concerns and ways of improving the efficiency of the corporation. 2 areas stood out at that meeting.
I think we have to look at possibly making some additional funds available to the corporation for its operations. Also, there's an issue of equipment and the tools required to carry the functions properly. So these are things that we'll be looking at. So these are 2 things certainly in my domain I'll be giving some priority. But the staff, interestingly, the truck drivers, the operators, the garbage collectors, have made suggestions about increasing fees and imposing certain fees on the citizenry of Dominica because they recognize the cost of doing that. So it's something that I think the Ministry of Health is looking at, and to see how practical are those suggestions coming from the staff of the Solid Waste Corporation. But I believe the 2 urgent thing has to do with some additional funds for them, and secondly, some additional equipment.
Among suggestions was the idea of sustainable solid waste and garbage trucks that were more compatible with the different types of garbage. In more news, 19 outstanding young nationals were awarded for their achievement and contribution to youth development in various fields over the past year at the 10th Annual National Youth Awards. Marking a decade of youth recognition, the National Youth Council hosted its annual awards ceremony at the Dominica State College Auditorium on Saturday, 30th May. In attendance to witness the momentous occasion was His Excellency the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Charles A. Savre, and Mrs. Savre, the nation's leader, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and Mrs. Skerrit, and other special guests. Giving the feature address at Saturday's ceremony was the Honorable Minister for Youth Affairs, Culture and Sports, Justina Charles.
The theme this evening is recognizing the contribution of our Dominica youth. This theme is indeed quite appropriate, since our youth have made, are making, and will continue to make significant contribution to the development of Dominica. The contribution of our young people in the development of our nation and the world cannot be trivialized. Our young people continue to perform and excel in an environment that sometimes creates some level of distraction, but they are proving their ability to remain focused, to keep their eyes on the prize, and to work towards achieving it.
Honorable Charles and Youth Officer Matilda Popo both agreed that the youth-led function is a clear indication of active leadership and commended the National Youth Council for its initiative. Senator the Honorable Josiah Benoit, who is also president of the NYC, considers the 10th anniversary a milestone for the NYC. He had these sound words of advice for youth across the nation.
Contribution to national development, it's not always about remuneration. It's not always about the check at the end of the month or the pay packet at the end of the fortnight. When we consider the challenges facing our country, do you believe that a simple cash injection would be able to solve all of them? There are certain problems within our communities, problems faced by our young persons, that money wouldn't solve. We need to dig deeper. We need to dig at the heart of every Dominican. Every young Dominican must understand the challenges facing their communities, and especially the youth in their communities, from a social standpoint. Issues such as peer violence, youth violence, sorry. Also issues such as drug use and its impact on our young persons. Issues such as child sexual abuse and its impact on our communities. We need to pay attention to these issues just as importantly as we pay to ensuring we have a paycheck at the end of the month.
Over 60 nominations were received in 19 award categories. Among the awards were the most outstanding youth in areas of culture, sports and media, and were captured by Ahmed Jean-Baptiste, Glenson Prince and Linworth Mitchell respectively. David Thornhill was awarded for community tourism, Aldia Tit for outstanding performance in performing arts, while Judy Sango received the Esteem Challenge Award. The Inside Posse Children of Grace Foundation and the Lubia Young Catholic organizations won the Outstanding Youth Organization and Faith-Based Achievement Awards respectively. Charlotte Gabriel was recipient of the 2015 President Awards. The ceremony was also treated to performances by some of Dominica's talented youth. For a complete list of awards for this year's awards ceremony, visit our news.gov.dm website. And before we leave you, here is an announcement. The Cultural Division is inviting nominations for the 2015 Golden Drum Awards. Persons, groups or institutions being nominated should have at least 20 years experience in the field of culture, and the work of the person or group should have a positive impact in Dominica. Nominations are also invited for Special Recognition Awards. Special Recognition Awards are issued to such persons, groups and institutions who have made a contribution in the culture for less than 20 years, and to those who have achieved notable success in the particular field of arts and culture. Nomination forms are available at the Old Mill Cultural Center, the Arak House of Culture, and the Ministry of Culture at the government headquarters. All nominations should reach the Division of Culture at Old Mill, Canefield by Monday, June 30th, 2015. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Cricket fans and cricket lovers, come witness the mighty Aussies take on the West Indies team in the first test match. Windsor Bank Stadium, Dominica, June 3rd to 7th. Dominica, the Caribbean and the world. Dominica welcomes you to exciting Windows versus Australia test match. June 3rd to 7th for Windsor Bank Stadium, Dominica. We just love our cricket.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, qui a fait parole la peine à ce compte gouvernement Dominique pour la mort ancien président, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas Liverpool. Dr. Liverpool passé lundi en l'Amérique après une bataille en maladie.
Eh bien, comme ça va, Dr. Liverpool more here, lundi, 1er juin. Était un homme qui représentait Dominique toute qualité manière. Il était un avocat, il était un professeur au collège à l'Université de West Indies, il était aussi un juge, et puis il était aussi un diplomate. Et puis comme ça, il était aussi président Dominique. Il était un homme qui est toujours paré pour mon avis. N'importe monde qui devrait avis, il était que avis là. Moi, je crois que Dominique perdu un bon homme, un homme qui représente nous bien. Et puis moi-même, personnellement, moi perdu un ami et puis on m'a regardé pour avis de temps en temps.
Si le Premier ministre Skerrit doit pour Dominique baisser juste lettrement président Liverpool.
Nous qui baisser doit pour Dominique le 1er juin, juste après jour là, il était. Ça c'est pour honorer et puis faire une démonstration que nous apprécions service et rend Dominique pendant toutes ces années-là, il travaille en Dominique et puis aussi en ces pays-là, en région-là et puis international. Nous avons expressé sympathie pour Madame Lee et puis ses enfants, et puis les enfants famille. Et puis nous avons prié pour famille, pour Madame Lee. J'ai dit qu'il y a grâce et qu'il y a courage pour accepter et puis pour manager mon mari, président Nicolas Liverpool.
En autre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture a continué cycle spray pour Black Sikatoka. Parole celle-là sorti votre officier quarantine, ministre de l'Agriculture, M. Ryan Ansem.
Comme vous savez, le gouvernement Dominique a $300,000 pour nous continuer ce programme-là. Et comme nous avons dit, nous avons presque des millions de dollars à Banana Company Measures. Et ça même, nous avons des problèmes quand taper inputs hot Banana Company Measures. Comme ça, EU procedure, ça a affecté comment nous taper ça. So, le gouvernement a venu et il a nous $300 millions et nous avons continué ce programme-là. Nous avons un improvement dans le cycle spray. Nous avons spray tous les 28 jours. So encore nous avons travaillé avec planter, nous avons traîné comment pour délivrer pour le programme la marcher tout bien.
En la nouvelle, ministère pour commerce, entreprise et puis développement petit business, Honorable Rosalind Paul, qui a bien complimenté le gouvernement Dominique pour développement bien significant, chimé et puis 100 habitants qui allé en hôtel tout un pays là. Honorable Paul fait parole celle-là pendant été adressé session en parlement semaine passée. Ministre Paul dit développement c'est chimé celle-là qui a bien assisté ces communautés là et puis développement ailleurs. Et dit développement c'est chimé celle-là aussi qu'a bénéficié moun et puis travail, bagay qui a assisté aux soins famille ailleurs. Ministre Paul dit ce projet là qu'a bénéficié pays là en général. Il y a un autre bagay qui est très important aussi selon Ministre Paul, c'est ça, travail là même fait par moun de cette communauté là et puis ça très important. Et puis finalement, le département qui a une responsabilité pour gommer un compte drogue qui a créé à cette même communauté pour assister yo et puis programme yo ka conduit spécialement pour Négion. Parole cela sorti au chef département salam Madame Jacinta Barnes.
Nous les moun dans ces communes là pour participer, les nous ka venir en commune pour faire un programme, nous les moun sorti pour assister nous puis nous pas ça faire pas comme nous, OK? Et puis les bagay la venir plus mauvais, c'est les moun ka couiller nous. Les mots de so pas des enfants là étaient ni 9 années 15 years so nous les bayo carte éducation ça là pour yo venir taper éducation là so yo ça assister les enfants yo.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up, your tip of the day. If you feel sluggish and out of sync, it may be time for a body detox. Here are a few tips on getting your body working properly. You can jumpstart your process by a few days of fasting, adding detoxifying foods to your diet like green leafy vegetables and beets, or get that much needed sauna treatment. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching.